Welcome back to another Magic EDH DeckTech. As promised, we got a Nekusar the Mindrazer here. If you don't know what he does, at the beginning of each draw step, that player draws an additional card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Nekusar the Mindrazer deals 1 damage to that player. He's also a 2/4. As you can see, he is Grixis colors. And we're going to go ahead and start off with our basic lands. We got some islands here. Eight islands, some swamps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last but not least, mountains. Should only be 4. And then for our colorless mana here, Temple of the False Gods, tap for 2. Thespian Stage lets me tap and become any other land I want. Plus it gains that ability. Our non-basics here. 1 of each of the shock lands. Steam Vents, Blood Crypt, and Watery Grave. A Drawn Catacomb. Tap for blue and a black. Temple of Malice for our Scry land. Black or red. Temple of Deceit. Blue-black, or Quarry Tower, just because we don't want to discard our stuff. Opal Palace, it's 1 plus you pay 1 tap, you can add any color to your commander's mana pool, which would be those 3. Plus it will also give him a +1/+1 counter for each time he was cast. Command Tower, tap for any color you want. Archer Spile, tap for any color, but it does come to play tapped, and you tap for an additional. You have to pay 1 or sacrifice it when it comes into play. Crumbling Necropos, something like that. Y'all can correct me later. Taps for Grixis. Rakos Carmium, something like that. It comes into play tapped. It's a bounce land, but it also taps for a swamp and a mountain. Is it Boilerworks? Sorry. So it's also a. Comes into play tapped. It's also a bounce land. It taps for blue and red. Pachuca Bog, you'll see why later, just because I am going to make them draw a lot of cards as well as mill a lot, so some way to remove graveyards. Phyrexian Tyranny, whenever a player draws a card, that player loses 2 life unless he or she pays 2 life. It does affect me as well, but later in here you'll see in the artifacts I can at least evade part of that damage. Force Filtration, something like that. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, that player draws 7 cards. With Nekusar, that's really mean. They're just taking a lot of damage. Archmage's Ascension, at the beginning of my draw step, if I draw 2 or more cards this turn, you may put a quest counter as long as it has 6 counters or more, 6 or more quest counters. Instead of drawing, if I would draw a card, I would search my library instead and put that card in my hand and then shuffle afterwards. It's really good, but it's really bad with the new legendary that says if you search, you take 10 points of damage and sack a creature. It's really bad with that. Found out the other day, but other than that, it's really good. Price of Knowledge, because I don't want them to discard their hands unless I make them do so. Plus, it gives them a point of damage for each card in their hand, which is really nice. Waste Not, what can I say? They're going to be, if I don't have the Price of Knowledge out, they're going to be discarding a lot, and would like to be able to actually add some mana or draw some extra cards or even put some zombies out. It's really good. Dictate, and mainly it's in there because I flash it in the beginning of the last end step before my turn, and I'll be able to draw the additional card as well. Underworld Dreams, whenever an opponent draws a card, it deals 1 damage to that person, which is really nice. Liliana's Caress, whenever they discard a card, they lose 2 life, which is really nice. This one also affects me. Spiteful Visions. At the beginning of my draw step, at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Whenever a player draws a card, it deals 1 damage. So I mean, it's really, they're taking 2. I would end up taking 1 off of this, but I do have 40 life, so I'm not too worried about it. And again, I have ways to negate that damage. Propaganda, just they have to pay 2 more for each attacking creature because I don't want to be attacked. Sorn, really the only thing I ever put him out is if I know I can kill somebody really quickly. And I'll go ahead and put him down to 10. and then kill him with either Nekusar or some sort of wheel effect. Furious Puzzle Box, because I want them to discard and draw hands and stuff of that nature, so that's what it's in there for. Let me let you guys read it a little bit better. Elixir of Immortality, just because I put a lot of stuff in my graveyard and I want to be able to put that back into my library. Howling Mind, they just draw an extra card. Go to Lotus at 3 mana of 1 color. Mind Crank, yes, the combo is in here. Whenever they lose life, they put a card in the graveyard. Whenever they put a card in the graveyard, they lose life. It's in here. Temple Bell, just because we want people to draw extra cards, take extra life. Chromatic Lantern, just for mana fixing, it helps us tap for any color we want. Font of Mythos, they draw 2 additional cards with this one, so you have all those extra draw things that could be taken 7-8 points a turn just from drawing. Urza's Armor, this is how we negate some of the damage. It just prevents 1 point of it, but at least it does do part of it. Soul Ring, Mana Fix, or Mana Rock, add 2 colorless mana. If no more than 1 creature can attack each combat, no more than 1 creature can block each combat, which is really nice considering I don't really have a whole bunch of creatures. It's more wheel effects, and I don't want to die quickly, pretty much. Psychosis Caller, because I will have a lot of cards in hand, and I don't want to. And we're going to be drawing a lot of cards, so I don't want to take a lot of damage, but at least he deals damage to everybody for each time I draw. So in my draw step, they're still also all taking damage, which is really nice. And he just keeps getting bigger for the amount of cards in my hand. Vicing, each opponent will deals X damage, where X is the number of cards in his or her hand, minus 4, so if they have no maximum hand size and they got 10 cards, they're now taking 6 points of damage. Consuming Aberration, because there's going to be a lot of cards in graveyards, I might as well make this big, and then every time I play one of my wheel effects, he just gets bigger. Dex Duplicate, this way I can put a copy of a battlefield that is in anybody else's stuff. Say they have a big old creature I don't want to deal with. Well, now I have a big old creature I don't want to deal with. Plus mine has haste and also has Dethrone, which is even better. Evil Twin, pretty much a Dex Duplicate, but it has pay blue black. I can talk, sorry guys. And tap and destroy that creature with the same name. Really nice. Got a Snipe because I do play a lot of instants and sorceries, so I do want to deal damage as much as possible. Here's the other half of the combo, the infinite combo with I told you guys earlier. It's that artifact guy. Mind Crank, sorry. Whenever a card is put, it's really this top player, whenever a card is put into the opponent's graveyard from anywhere, this turn, that player loses 1 life, so I pay 3, make them cycle, and then that's game. So it's really nice, and if I have enough, I actually would have to do this for each one of my opponents, which is bad, but it's good at the same time. He's in here because he's another clone that can actually return to my hand and put back out if I need to. Talisman Image, yet again another clone effect. And this just lets me exile stuff out of people's graveyards that I don't want to deal with, and then make a copy of it. And it still gains this ability, which is really nice. Chasm Skulker, because we will be drawing a lot of cards, and if people board wipe, at least I have a bunch of little 1/1s to block until I can get other creatures back out. Nim the Pain Artist, what can I say? It's direct damage to creatures where I can get rid of stuff, but it also makes them draw cards, which is really nice when Nekusar is out. Niv is it the Firemind, sorry. He's flying. Whenever you draw a card, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player, and then I can tap to make him draw a card. Plus, he's a 4/4 flyer, which is really nice. Melik, sorry. I play with the top card. If it's instant sorcery, I can play that, and then pretty much double cast it, which is really nice. Next Guild Mage, just because I want to be able to draw cards, or if I want to copy target instant sorcery, and that's really what it's there for. Echo Mage, pretty much, I'm going to try to get him to 2 as quickly as I can. 4 is preferred, because then it casts it twice. So I'd play 1 Wheel of Fortune. It's really 3 Wheel of Fortunes, which is really nice. Clone, just because it needs more clone effects. Charmbreaker Devil to get back all my instants and sorceries. Jace Archivist, be able to wheel effect people. Demonic Tutor, just be able to search whatever I want to search in order to find answers for stuff. Traumatize, why not traumatize somebody? It's fun. Just do that, if we copy it twice, we can now do 3 people, take half their libraries, which is really nice. Prosperity, each player draws X cards, so as you can see, we're making people draw cards. Mind Grind, we're going to go ahead and make each player, or each opponent, just get rid of all the extra stuff. Like I said, we're trying to get rid of their stuff as well as making them draw cards with damage because we don't want them to find answers. Black Sun Zenith for the big guys I don't want to deal with. Plus it shuffles back in, which is really nice. Army of the Damned, just because I would like to have an army if I need one. Plus it has flashback. Now for the stuff that most of you guys are probably here for. Wheel effects pretty much at this point. Forge the Soul. Miracle for a red and a colorless, and normally I don't get that option, but it's each player discards his hand, draws 7 new, which is really nice. Time reversal, each player shuffles his or her hand into the graveyard into his or her library, then draws 7 cards. Exile this. I usually try not to do this one unless it's absolutely necessary to win the game. Whisper Madness, it's really nice when I put it on a big guy or something like that, and then hit an opponent with it, and then everybody just wheels again. This one is the same way. Pretty much I get to choose 2. Usually I hit someone for 4, or if there's a creature I don't want to deal with, and then we'll go ahead and wheel afterwards. Each player draws X cards, but really forecast is pretty good because then each player can go ahead and draw an additional card, and I can just make everybody extra do that. Wheel and Deal, this one does not affect me, it only affects my opponents. So it's really nice. They all discard their cards, and then they all draw 7, and I get to draw 1 card afterwards. 1 fall each player. Yes, this is including me again, but we all discard and draw cards equal to the greatest number of cards that way. So say I have 20 cards in my hand, they all now draw 20 cards. Hopefully Nekusar is out, or some other drawing thing that causes them to actually deal damage, because that's a lot of fun. Wheel of Fortune, because it's a Wheel of Fortune effect, and it was the first one of these, so might as well go ahead and put that in there. Starstorm deals X damage to creature. Cycling, I don't really ever use the cycling, it's really there for removal. I know I can find better things, and yes, it will be replaced soon. Reverberate, because I want to be able to copy spells if I need to, including counters. As you can see, there's not any. Fort, because we want to copy spells as well. Pretty much a Grixis Charm. Return target permanent to its owner's hand, or destroy target non-black creature. It cannot be generated, or destroy target artifact. It's there for in case we need it. Sudden Spoiling, just because in case we have to block a big guy, at least all his creatures are little, and then I can kill him. Here's a few counter spells. Counter spell, it counters the spell, and then its controller loses 3 life. Sorry. Draw effects again. Go ahead and put that back into my library. Wild Ricochet, in order to copy the spell. And then Second Spiral, in case I decide to just go ahead and if I'm going about ready to die, I'll go ahead and, or if I don't have many cards left, I'll go ahead and do this, and then everybody else will go ahead and mill that much. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. You guys have a wonderful day, and make sure you like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for decks, please go ahead and feel free to email them at magicedh@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and have a good one.